Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Sunshine State Conference and the University of Tampa would like to welcome you to the 2023 SSC Men's Lacrosse Championship semifinals. Tonight we have the number 2 seeded Tampa Spartans versus the number 3 Florida Southern Moccasin. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And now here are tonight's starters, beginning with the Florida Southern Mocs. Number 3, Jacob Chids. Number 4, Greg Connor. Number 8, Sean Nolan. Number 11, Ian Wallace. Number 12, Nolan Ty. Number 13, Zach Fitzgerald. Number 18, Nick Shannon. Number 37, Griffin Phillips. Number 44, Matt Flamensbeck. And in goal for the Mocs, number 15, Michael Simone. And for the Spartans, number 3, Brady Stoll. Number 7, Alex Poma. Number 9, Kenyon Birch. Number 10, Matthew Beto. Number 11, Trajan Cannon. Number 13, Jackson Bashoff. Number 15, Harry Kilkowski. Number 25, Thomas Gribben. Number 36, Connor Gevlin. And a goal for Spartans number 4, Blake Ulmer. For the latest Sunshine State Conference Men's Lacrosse news, visit sunshinestateconference.com or follow at D2SSC on Twitter and Instagram. The NCAA, the University of Tampa, and Florida Southern College also promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner, using obscene gestures, profanity, racial, sexist, or unduly provocative language or action toward officials, opponents, spectators, or administrators will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the premises. The use of artificial noisemakers and alcohol products are not permitted. Smoking is permitted along the fenced areas outside the stadium. Thank you and enjoy the game.
Good evening from the Namoli Family Athletic and Intramural Complex on the grounds of the University of Tampa campus. This evening, the Tampa Spartans playing host to the Florida Southern Mocs. I am Bruce Wozniak here to call the action for you in the Sunshine State Conference semifinal game. And the Spartans wearing white shirts score just like that. 7 seconds into the game, before I could even say, and black shorts and black helmets, the Spartans go up that quickly as Alex Poma wins the faceoff and takes it down and beats goaltender Michael Simone. And that's how fast they come, folks. UT out to a very quick lead. They are the number 7 ranked Tampa Spartans, and Florida Southern ranked number 16. As you see, Poma win it again and takes that face off the other way and gives it to his own goaltender, Blake Ulmer, who sends it ahead, and it results in a loose ball that's picked up by Florida Southern. Florida Southern, you see all in red. Shirts, shorts, helmets, and a shot, and they score. And now 27 seconds into the game. So 20 seconds after the Spartans goal, the Mocs answer back. And we are at 8:01 Eastern Time and already have 2 goals, one from each team. The Spartans, a regular season record of 13-2, and Florida Southern 12-4. The winner of this game will advance to play in the Sunshine State Conference Championship game on Sunday. And the Florida Southern goal scored by Sean Nolan, assisted by Nolan Teig. And the Mocs with the ball here again after tying it up. 20 seconds after Poma scored just 7 seconds into this game. And here goes Medeiros. These two teams, quote unquote, just played each other 19 days ago over in Lakeland, with the Spartans winning that game by a score of 17-8. And now here they are facing each other in Tampa in an SSC semifinal game. And no surprise, a very good crowd on hand here this evening to watch this one. As UT in possession. Pass goes behind the net, worked over to Kilkowski, up to Fitzpatrick. Daniel Fitzpatrick flips a pass to Kilkowski, and it goes out of play, and the ball will be turned over. Florida Southern will take over. I mentioned, in case you missed it, Michael Simone, the Mocs goaltender, and of course Blake Ulmer between the pipes for the Spartans. And our temperature at 81 degrees. As you see the Spartans taking over. On the run is Jackson Day. Jackson Day, one of 4 Spartans players that was second team all-conference. And what's better than 4 players being named second team all-conference? How about 5 Spartans players being named first team all-conference? Here's Owen Miller on the run. Miller fires a shot wide, goes out of play. Possession remains with UT. Playing under the lights here this evening. There was a women's lacrosse game played on the same field this afternoon as the Tampa Spartans women's lacrosse team advanced to Sunday's SSC championship game with a 12-10 victory over Embry-Riddle. This is Charlie Bolish with the ball. Over for Miller, quickly to the far side, and they send it in behind the Mocs net. Kilkowski with it now. Kilkowski on the run. Stops, being watched back there. 11 on the shot clock. Miller over for Bolish, fakes the shot, tries to get inside. 5 on the shot clock. And is it going to run out on the Spartans? It is. And they jump in celebration on the sideline, and their fans do the same in the stands. Matthew Beto, Trajan Cannon, Daniel Fitzpatrick, Owen Miller, and Hunter Turner were the Spartans' 5 first-team all-conference players. Jackson Day, Gunnar Geblin, Harry Kilkowski, and Blake Ulmer were the second-team all-SSC conference honorees. Spartans back in possession here. Some personnel changes being made by both teams. Fired over to Miller. Up top, that's Nick Papa. Papa looks for an open teammate. Dishes it off. Owen Miller. Back to Papa. Papa being closely marked there, and finally gives it up. Miller's going to try it. Sends a pass that misses, intended for Jackson Bashaw, and the Mocs will take over once again. Florida Southern won their final 2 games of the regular season. The Spartans won their final 5, so one of these 2 teams will have their winning streak end tonight. And as I mentioned, the winner will go on to the SSC championship game on Sunday. And whistles. And we're going to get a timeout called here by Florida Southern. We'll be back with more lacrosse here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Back live after the timeout called by Florida Southern head coach Marty Ward, who's in his 13th season at the helm of the Mocs men's lacrosse program. And his team puts the ball into play. A 1-1 game with the 2 goals being scored in the first 27 seconds of this contest. Meanwhile, Rollins is taking on St. Leo. So the winner of this game will face the winner from that one on Sunday. Mocs with it deep behind the Spartans' net. And here comes a chance out front. They score! That's Sean Nolan. And he has both Florida Southern goals. It's an unassisted goal, and it comes 6 minutes, 22 seconds into this opening quarter. And now play resumes. Mocs in possession again, deep behind the Spartans' net. And there's a shot that goes wide and out of play. It remains with the Mocs. And here they come across the Tampa line. Sent behind Blake Ulmer's net. And that's Joe Conklin with it. Conklin tried to get a step on Jackson Day. Nice help sliding over. And the Spartans caused the turnover. And back they come the other way. Sent back for Matthew Beto. Canyon Birch sent it into the corner. That's Kilkowski behind the net. And the Spartans tie it up. Jackson Bashaw gets the goal, and Kilkowski with the assist. So no sooner did the Mocs get the 1-goal lead, the Spartans answer right back. And the face-off, Poma in control for the Spartans and wanted to get a shot away. A flag is thrown on the far side of the field. And we'll get a call coming up here against the Mocs. UT in possession, deep behind the Florida Southern net. Sent up top, Birch. On the far side of the field it goes. Grant Green. And up top for Papa. Keep in mind the penalty coming up to the Mocs. And nothing there for Ronan Sanchez. Gives it to Green. Papa. Back to Sanchez. And Kilkowski now. Kilkowski looking. 2 defenders on him. Kilkowski goes down and lobs one up in the air. It's pulled down and the whistle goes to stop play, as we will have the call here coming up against Florida Southern. And this comes with 6:33 remaining in the first quarter. And it's going to be a 30-second holding call against Lucas Summers. So the Mocs will be a man short. And a chance for UT to break this tie as it goes in behind the net. Kilkowski for Papa. Up top, Miller. Fitzpatrick. They work the perimeter now in behind the Mocs net. And Kilkowski came out in front, shot from a tough angle. And the Mocs come up with it and off to the races as the penalty has expired. Now into the corner it goes. Nolan Ty with it. And Miner gives it to Medeiros. This is Ty again. And to the far side of the field it goes. Glasser tries to go one-on-one against Jackson Day and gave up the pass. Here's Miner cutting in, and Jay Miner's shot is going to end up out of bounds. A diving attempt by UT, and it is successful as possession is awarded to the Spartans. And hold on! Whistles all over the field. And Blake Ulmer, Spartans goaltender, is on the far side of the field. The two officials over near the Spartan sideline had come together and, in fact, looked as though they may have been talking with Spartans head coach J.B. Clark. And now play resumes. And UT at work in the Mocs end of the field. It's Canyon Birch over for Bolesh. Bolesh has a burst of speed. Down low it goes. And Fitzpatrick with a great look at the net. Takes a shot that goes wide and out of play. And wow, Daniel Fitzpatrick, a great shooting lane there. And just couldn't find the mark. Play carries on. UT with it in behind the Mocs net. Once again, Kilkowski sends it over. Here's Miller up top. Miller backs up. And now gets a pick from Bolesh. Gives it back to Bolesh. And now scores! Fitzpatrick hit it that time as he beats Michael Sabone. And UT goes into a 3-2 lead. Charlie Bolesh gets the assist. So it was 1-0 Spartans, 1-1, then 2-1 Mocs, and 2-2. And now the Spartans take their first lead since they scored 7 seconds into this game off the stick of Alex Poma. As you see Matthew Beto on the run now for UT. Canyon Birch looked like he was going to shoot. Sends it up top instead for Papa. Over now for Sanchez. And it goes in behind the Mocs net to the near side now. Papa tries to beat the defender. Another slides over to help out. Quick passing. And it goes back to Birch once again. Sanchez over for Papa. And to the far side of the field. Nothing happening out there. They send it in behind the Mocs net. 20 on the shot clock. Sanchez, a pass, and there's a shot taken by Birch, and Simone made the save. Still Spartans ball, although they do get a fresh shot clock now. Kilkowski with it behind the net. Kilkowski changes directions. UT resets up top. Over now for Sanchez. Cuts to the net. Passes behind. Kilkowski the other side. And that one missed for Grant Green. And he runs over and picks it up. Play carries on. Green across the Mocs line. Drops it. Loose ball. And 4 of them battle for it. 3 of them wearing red jerseys. And so Florida Southern comes up with the possession. And off goes Dane Skoblik. .225 to go in the first quarter. And there's an errant pass, and it's going to roll out of play. And it'll be turned over. So UT with a chance now to get the first 2-goal lead of the game by either team. Down low it goes. Patrick Selhorn to Fitzpatrick, and now over to the other side is Bolesh. Behind the net again to Kilkowski. Owen Miller up top. Good ball movement by UT, but they just can't get a good look at it. And now Miller does. And Simone is there to close the door on that one. Ty sends it in behind the net. Flammenspec Back over for Ty again. And now Robichaud for Caleb Cook. And over it goes to Clayton Mensch. Mensch tried to go around Jackson Day, couldn't, so he sent a pass over. Robichaud with it now. And dumps it off for Cook. Back up top it goes. Robichaud. And that's Sean Nolan, who has both of the Florida Southern goals. 18 on the shot clock now for the Mocs. And they're shooting at the end of the field where the scoreboard is. Granted, there's a shot clock at both ends, but it's not hard to miss that shot clock there. As you see it turned over, and UT going back the other way. Matthew Beto, long shot, scores! Matthew Beto with 7 seconds left in the first quarter. And the Spartans jump out to a 4-2 lead. An unassisted goal. Matthew Beto had 2 goals in 15 games during the regular season, and here he is in the SSC semifinal and beats Michael Simone for a 2-goal Spartan lead. And the horn goes to end the first quarter. The home team with a 4-2 lead. And both teams trying to punch their ticket to the SSC Championship on Sunday. Back with more lacrosse coming up on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Back live, the Spartans with a 4-2 lead at the end of the first quarter, and in the other SSC game tonight, it's also the end of the first quarter, and it's 4-1. Rollins is leading St. Leo. Shots on goal here in the first quarter were 6-3 in favor of the Spartans. UT won 4 of the 7 face-offs, and each team committed 4 turnovers. So do the math. Blake Ulmer has 1 save. And at the other end of the field, Michael Simone has 2. Again, the goals. 4 different Spartans have hit the back of the net. Daniel Fitzpatrick, Jackson Bashaw, Matthew Beto, and Alex Poma. While for the visiting team, Sean Nolan has both of the Florida Southern goals. Spartans in possession. Owen Miller cuts to the net. Miller can't get a shot away and neatly backhands the pass. Fitzpatrick down low in front. They score! Jackson Bashaw And 35 seconds into the second quarter. It's a 3-goal Spartan lead. And you see the replay there as they beat Simone down low. Daniel Fitzpatrick gets the assist. And the Mocs hoping to answer back now. Going to work in the Spartans' end of the field. Sent up to Glasser and over to Minor. And now on the far side, there's a shot taken by Medeiros. Ulmer makes the save and he outlets it. Off goes Braden Williams. Williams with a pass that misses, and Birch able to save it, but the Mocs unfortunately are going to pick it up. And good foot speed shown there by Brendan Glasser. Minor sends it over for Glasser, back to Minor, and to the other side of the field it goes. And Medeiros sends a pass behind the net, now back to this side of the field. Glasser with it again. Up top it goes. Minor looks to go one-on-one against Day, and it's left back for Ty. There's a low shot, and Ulmer got a piece of that one. Florida Southern still in possession, and they get a fresh shot clock. There's a pass, but Ty had run out of room, had to circle around the back of the net. And a penalty is going to be called now against the Spartans, as you saw a Mocs player go down in the UT goal crease. And this comes 2 minutes, 24 seconds into the second quarter. It's going to be a 30-second interference penalty against Matthew Beto. And so here go the Mocs with the extra attacker. That's Flammenspec. Up top it goes. Minor to the other side of the field. Tried to get it in the middle and knocked down as Brad Leonard picked it up for UT, and now Ulmer will look for an open teammate as the penalty now is expired against Beto. And Jackson Day knocked out of bounds right in front of the official. And the official says, Mocs ball. And Day looks at him and says, I don't think so. But play carries on nonetheless. Sent over to Medeiros, and now back up top. Glasser sends it to this side of the field. Minor, no lane there, so he sends it back up top. Glasser sends it over. Medeiros circles behind the net. Chase back there. And this is Nolan. Nolan goes into the corner and tries to cut back out in front. Takes a shot and scores. How about that one? Sean Nolan has all three Florida Southern goals. And watch the angle as he stops right there and fires it short side against Ulmer. And Florida Southern cuts it to 5-3 with 11:11 to go in the second quarter. And now the face-off. And the two combatants kick at it. And it's scooped up by the Mocs. Ball was loose temporarily, and now they throw it away, a pass that didn't connect, and now the Spartans do the same. And it rolls out of bounds, and possession to Florida Southern. Play resumes. Off goes Florida Southern. That's Caleb Cook. Pushes a pass ahead. In behind the Spartans net it goes. That's Nolan back there. And it's worked up top. Robichaux to the other side of the field to Cook. Cook, who is from right in Lakeland. His Mocs trying to cut this to a one-goal game. This is Summers. Summers sends a pass deep behind the Spartans' net. Cook on the move. Cook sends it back up top quickly now. And Madero, that's 34, not 14. Summers scores. And the Mocs have cut the Spartan lead down to 1. And here's the replay. As you see some nifty footwork there, and then Summers switched to his left hand to beat Blake Ulmer. The assist goes to Robichaux. And the Mocs in possession again. Up top, Miner sending it over. And a pass. Now broken up, the Mocs still with it, and there's a low shot. They score again. And that is Sean Nolan holding up 4 fingers to say, I've got 4 goals already. And an unassisted goal that ties the game at 5. And the Spartans are going to call a timeout so that J.B. Clark can talk things over with his Spartans. And we'll take a timeout as well and be back with more SSC semifinal play here in Tampa on the Sun. And we're back following the Spartans timeout and ready for the face-off. After the Mocs tied the game at 5 with 9:18 to go here in the second quarter. And the face-off is won by Jacob Chiz. And so the Mocs working on offense here. Nolan, his pass goes into the corner. He gets it right back. And now Nolan lobs one up top as Miner gets it over to Glasser. And then he sends it to his right, gets it back, goes to his left. Here's Miner. Miner being chased by Beto. Goes in behind the Spartans net. And an opportunity, a bounce shot. And that one goes out of play. And it almost looks like Florida Southern must think, whether they're right or not remains to be seen, must think that the book on Blake Ulmer is bounce shots. Let's see if that pattern continues, as Nolan tried to get inside and he's denied. And they move it up top. Over it goes. Miner slowed down by Beto. Miner gives up a pass now. Over it comes to Cook. And looking for some room is Glasser. 2, the shot clock is going to expire, and it'll be turned over as UT will go the other way. In tonight's other game, Rollins is currently beating St. Leo 7-3. And as I mentioned, the winner of that game will play the winner of this game on Sunday for the SSC championship. Bolish gets it right back. Here's Fitzpatrick. Looked like he wanted to shoot. Fitzpatrick pushes it into the corner. Behind the net it goes to the other side of the field, and now they reset up top. Nice fake there by Bolish. Switches hands, gets it over to Birch. And a good spin move there by Owen Miller. And I was about to say, the Spartans can't seem to get the ball down low on this possession, and then they do. Fitzpatrick pushes it behind the net. Back up top it goes again. Miller on the run, tries to split the defenders, gets it to Bolish. Into the corner it goes. 15 on the shot clock. And deep behind the Mocs net is Canyon Birch. Pass in front, couldn't get to it. And, well, there was still time. I'm not exactly sure why Owen Miller didn't make an attempt to get that pass. There was still 6 seconds left on the shot clock when that went out of bounds, so it could just be awareness or the lack thereof. He could have gotten it and at least taken a long shot or tried to find someone closer to relay it to, but water under the bridge. Play carries on. The Mocs setting up in the UT end of the field. Robichaux, his pass goes over for Cook. And Bolish does not bite on the head fake. A nice attempt in front, but stolen away by UT. And watch out, that pass is knocked down, and here go the Mocs. Right back. A pass that misses, and sloppy play. And now a flag is thrown. We're going to have a penalty called. And this comes with 5:52 left in the second quarter. And waiting to hear the details of the penalty. It is being assessed to UT. And it looks like Brady Stoll. It's a 1-minute penalty to him for unnecessary roughness. And now here go the Mocs with the man advantage. Up top it comes. Flammenspec. And quickly they go in behind the Spartan net out in front, but running out of room. And so Ulmer covers it up in his crease. And Blake hands it off to Trajan Cannon. Cannon, like a fullback, powers past the Mocs defender. And 20 seconds left in the penalty against Brady Stoll. And so UT content to both kill off the remainder of this penalty and then go to work with plenty of time on the shot clock as the penalty ends now, and there's 42 to go on the shot clock. And one final personnel change is made as Ronan Sanchez just stepped on the field, and that's him who receives the pass from Cannon. Now a pass over. Papa breaks in and now has to take it down into the corner, being watched. It's Craig Connor on him. Pass in front. Kilkowski scores! Harry Kilkowski just got it in before running out of real estate. And the Spartans get the 1-goal lead. As you see the replay here. And look at Kilkowski right there just before he ran out of room. He's able to put it in behind 15 for the other team. Goaltender Michael Simone. So the Spartans number 15, Harry Kilkowski, makes it a 6-5 game. And during the regular season, Kilkowski led the Spartans in points with 53. He had 29 goals in 15 games. Luke McEnany also had 29. There were 3 Spartans players that had more than those two fellas. UT at work again here offensively. Green sends it into the corner. Sanchez back there. And now this is Kilkowski. He loves to work from behind the net. And Kilkowski goes down, manages to maintain possession amazingly. And now a pass out in front from Sanchez. Papa shoots, or excuse me, that was Canyon Birch. Went wide now to play. Possession remains with the Spartans. 22 on the shot clock. Kilkowski puts it in. And now on the run, Papa takes it in behind the Mocs net. 10 on the shot clock. Papa starts his move out front. 1.5 defenders on him. A pass over, a long shot coming. And the save made there by Simone. And now the Mocs will start back the other way. And they cross midfield. Pass that connects with Ty. And whistles all over as Florida Southern is going to call a timeout. We will step aside again with just 2:48 left here in the second quarter and be back with more semifinal lacrosse on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Our score is 6-5 Tampa. It's 10-3 Rollins. And the other game tonight, this one that you're watching, thanks for being with us. 2:39 to go here in the second quarter. I'm Bruce Wozniak. And the Tampa Spartans entering this game ranked number 7. Florida Southern ranked number 16. And this one is a nail biter. As there's a ball loose, swept at, and the Spartans will take it away. Trajan Cannon fires a pass up ahead. Brady Stoll on the run, flips a pass over. And now putting on the brakes is Jackson Day as UT settles it a bit. Jackson Bashaw in possession. Some personnel changes being made. Fitzpatrick looking over toward his sideline and sees Charlie Bolesh come out onto the field and gives it to him. Bolesh crosses the Mox line. Fitzpatrick with it. Fitzpatrick into the corner it goes. Kilkowski behind the Mox net. And now this is Owen Miller. Tried to circle out front. Has to send a pass up top. Long shot coming. And Simone might have gotten a piece of that one. It goes out of play. 92 seconds left here in the second quarter. 30 on the shot clock for the Spartans. Kilkowski almost near the end line, maybe 1 or 2 steps away from it, and drops off a pass. And here's a shooting lane, and a shot by Bashaw goes out of bounds. Still Spartans ball. The shot clock down to 13 now. Kilkowski looking for an open teammate. 8 on the shot clock. Kilkowski backs his way in. Good defense. And hold on. The official is going to call a crease violation on UT. And so with 1:02 to go here in the first half, the Mocs will get a chance to try to tie this game. It has been a back and forth first half. If you weren't here in the opening minute, you missed 1 goal from each team. The Spartans scored 7 seconds into the game, and then Florida Southern replied 20 seconds later. And just 30 seconds left now in the first half. That's Cook. Sends it deep behind the Spartans' net. Ty with it back there. And 15 on the game clock. Ty sends a pass over to Cook. And that's Gorecki. And a Spartans player goes down. 3, 2, 1. Shot coming, and Ulmer makes the save on the shot by Ryan Gorecki. And we will stay a 1-goal game going into the halftime break. The Spartans are on top 6-5, and we will be back with the third quarter following halftime here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Back live and almost ready to start the second half here in Tampa, where the Spartans cling to a 1-goal lead. Very different scene in tonight's other game, where Rollins has a 10-4 lead over St. Leo. And as I've been mentioning throughout the broadcast, the winners of tonight's two games will face each other on Sunday for the Sunshine State Conference Championship. Here in our game, the first half shots on goal were 10-9 in favor of the Mocs. And that adds up to 5 saves for UT goaltender Blake Ulmer and 3 saves for Florida Southern goalie Michael Simone. The Mocs held the edge in faceoffs in the first half, 7-6. And turnovers were even at 10 apiece. The Spartans caused 5 turnovers, and Florida Southern caused 4. So everything is as even right across the stat sheet as the scoreboard practically is, with just a 6-5 Tampa lead as we get set to start the second half of play. Sean Nolan, 4 of the 5 Florida Southern goals. And the Spartans have gotten a pair from Jackson Bashaw, and then single tallies from Harry Kilkowski, Alex Poma, Matthew Beto, and Daniel Fitzpatrick. Kilkowski and Fitzpatrick each have 1 goal and 1 assist. And I should mention that Charlie Bolesh and Nick Papa do each have an assist in this game as play has resumed. UTUC with the first possession of the second half. I'm Bruce Wozniak, glad that you can be here on this Thursday evening from the University of Tampa campus, the Namoli Family Athletic and Intramural Complex. Spartans, Owen Miller in possession. Miller starts his move, drops off a little pass, and a low shot, he scores! Luke McEnany didn't call his name in the first half. And again, the Spartans with another early goal, just 37 seconds into this third quarter. McEnany makes it a 2-goal Spartan lead. And Poma wins the faceoff for the Spartans. Spartans looking for more. And Miller goes down, and no call made there as Florida Southern goes back the other way. And the Mocs in behind the Spartans' net. The Spartans with a 2-goal lead just over 2 minutes into this third quarter. And Green, as it comes around quickly to Sanchez. Sanchez, a little spin move, puts his shoulder down, and I'm going to say throws it away, but fortunately it's chased down just in time by Green, and he fires a pass over for Sanchez. Sanchez trying to back his way in, now Pass up top quickly to the other side, and it goes in behind the Mocs net. Kilkowski now. Kilkowski. And it's a loose ball picked up by Florida Southern. And off and running on the far side, that's Sean Nolan. Nolan being watched over there by Gunnar Geblin. And gets a step on him. And takes a bounce shot. It goes out of play. And I mentioned that in the first half. That let's see if that's what Florida Southern thinks the book might be on Blake Ulmer, whether they are right or not. Miner sends a pass over. And now he gets it back. Miner trying to get away from Matthew Beto. And good defense there by Beto, as this is Medeiros with it being backed up by Braden Williams, a pair of 14s. Sent into the corner now. 22 on the shot clock for Florida Southern. And they come out in front and lose the ball, and it's going to roll out of play on the far side of the field. Only 10 on the shot clock. Let's see if the Mocs can get one off here. And they do, and Ulmer makes the save. He makes another save, and Beto scoops that one up and sends a pass ahead quickly. Jackson Day on the run for McEnany. And there's a shot by Kilkowski that misses wide and goes out of play. And let's not overlook the play by Blake Ulmer down in the Tampa goal on that last offensive burst by Florida Southern. His teammates looking to turn this into a 3-goal lead down at the other end of the field. And Fitzpatrick takes a long shot. That one goes out of play. 42 on the shot clock as Kilkowski puts it back into play. And up top with it, that's Bolish. Bolish wants to go one-on-one. He's backed up. And he's going to give it another try. And Bolish slips a pass behind the net this time. Owen Miller cuts in. Miller looks like he wants to shoot. Two defenders on him. Gets away from one of them at least, as he was chased there by Nick Shannon. And there's one that goes off the goalpost, and the Mocs in the right place at the right time, picking up the rebound, was Mason McQuiggan. Florida Southern across the Tampa line. There's another bounce shot by Lucas Summers. Now on the restart, Flammenspec. And this is Robichaux. Cook goes to the other side of the field. Strong defense there by Trajan Cannon. There's one that's thrown away, and it'll be turned over by Florida Southern. And so Ulmer, the goaltender, out of his net, sends it up ahead. And here comes UT in the person of Ronan Sanchez. McEnany fires it into the corner. Kilkowski works it to the other side and gets it right back. Up top it goes Green for Sanchez, and to the far side of the field. And nothing there for Nick Papa, so he carries on behind the Mocs net. Green with it. Plenty of time, still 30 seconds on the shot clock. Behind the net it goes. Kilkowski sees nothing but a sea of red jerseys and gives it instead to Green. Sanchez now from the other side puts his shoulder down, flips a pass behind the net, 15 on the shot clock. Green with it again. Turns the corner, gets his pass off. And 5 seconds left. Sanchez comes out in front. And the shot clock expires. And a tough defensive stand by Florida Southern, not allowing UT to get a shot away. And here comes Cook. Into the corner it goes for Flammenspec. And they're going to say that he stepped on the end line. And just like that, the Spartans get the ball right back. Ulmer runs it up, sends a long pass up ahead. And Miller passed down low. I thought that Miller was going to shoot from outside. He had the opening. Play carries on. And Bolish, big collision there, and a procedure call against the Spartans. And another turnover here. And a flag is being thrown, so we're going to have a call coming up against the Spartans. 6:35 to go in the third. And the Mocs, there's another bounce shot, and I'm going to officially go on the record now as saying that they have to think, and I'm not saying they're right, I'm just saying that they must think that the way to beat Blake Ulmer is bounce shots, and they've really not been successful because I've beaten that expression to a pulp throughout this broadcast, and every time I've said it, it's because they've taken a bounce shot that has not gone in. So perhaps they need to try a different shot selection. In the meantime, a 30-second call against UT's Charlie Bolish. So with the extra attacker, the Mocs at work, it was an illegal procedure call against Bolish. And the fans chanting defense, trying to get behind their Spartans and get them back to another SSC championship game. There's a long shot by Jay Miner that goes out of play. And they do successfully kill off the penalty as Charlie Bolish returns for the Spartans. So the team's at even strength now. And 15 on the shot clock for the Mocs, and they score. Matt Flammenspec. And that makes it a one-goal game. And here's the replay. As you see, Flammenspec turns and an underhanded shot that beats Blake Ulmer. During the regular season, Flammenspec had 49 goals in 16 games. So he averaged over 3 a game. He was the team leader in goals for Florida Southern, and he has brought his team to within 1. Well, Live Stats is showing that 34 got it and not 44, saying that it's Lucas Summers and not Flammenspec. Regardless, it's a 7-6 UT lead, and this one has the makings of going down to the WIRE as the Spartans score and get the 2-goal lead right back. Jackson Bashaw, you see, getting the goal there. Owen Miller getting the assist, and so UT wastes no time in answering right back to restore a 2-goal lead. And meanwhile, in the Rollins versus St. Leo game, it is 13-4 in favor of Rollins. As you see, Florida Southern in possession now. Their goaltender Simone sends it over towards his own sideline. And turned over. And that has been, there's a flag on the far side of the field. And let's see what this call is going to be as the official is headed over towards the scores table. This comes with 4:23 remaining in the third quarter. It is a 30-second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Jackson Bashaw. And the turnovers are 13-13. Far too many for both teams with so much at stake here. A trip to the conference championship game on the line. And the officials standing over, conferencing, for all intents and purposes, you might as well say alongside a couple of members of the Spartans coaching staff. And we've just been informed that the penalty is being taken off the board. And so a missed opportunity for the Mocs. And apparently whatever Jackson Bashaw did wasn't that unsportsmanlike. And so even strength. Blake carries on, I should say resumes. Florida Southern in possession here. And that's Nolan Ty with it. Being watched back there by Jackson Day. Ty sends it to the far side and they recycle it up top. Robichaux now tries to get past Cannon and can't. Behind the Spartans net it goes. And watch out, here comes Sean Nolan again and tries another acrobatic shot. And in a wild sequence, it ends up in the back of the Spartans net. So Andrew Medeiros is ultimately going to get the goal here. And there you see the crazy attempt by Nolan that went way wide. But Medeiros was in the right place at the right time and ends up putting it behind Blake Ulmer. And we're back to a one-goal game again. And the Mocs, look out, they win the face-off. And if this game has not had you on the edge of your seat, and I think you're watching something else at the same time. Cook over to Robichaux and now to the far side of the field. And down low it goes to Ty. Up top, Cook to Robichaux. And there's a long shot by Cook. And behind the net was Sean Nolan so that it didn't go out of bounds and play continues. And kind of thrown away. And it goes out of bounds And possession stays with the Mocs. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Cook going one-on-one here against A.J. Pascarella. And Cook, don't know why he didn't shoot. He's in behind the net. 9 on the shot clock. Comes out the other side. 2 Spartans on him. 5 seconds. And a long shot coming. They score. Nolan Ty with 1 second left on the shot clock. And the game is tied at 8. And watch this replay. You see him calling for it, and he gets it. And beats Ulmer low. And with 2:23 remaining in the third quarter, it is a brand new lacrosse game. And a pileup in the faceoff circle, and they're going to call a hold against the Mocs, and so possession to UT. And here's Trajan Cannon. Gives it for Daniel Fitzpatrick, who just stepped out on the field. And now to Owen Miller. Miller stops. And over to Bolish. Now to Miller up top again. Miller turns the corner. Takes a long shot. That one's going to go out of play. Possession stays with UT. And now from the corner, Kilkowski restarts. Being watched loosely back there by Nick Shannon. Kilkowski decides to go the other side. And now he gets it right back. Up top it comes to Bolish. And Fitzpatrick works it over for Canyon Birch. Down low, here's Kilkowski again. Bolish doesn't have an opening. Sends a pass over. There's a long shot taken. That goes out of play off the stick of Daniel Fitzpatrick. 15 on the shot clock. Owen Miller working his way in. Miller sends one out of play. And 11 remaining on the shot clock now. And UT needs to get a shot away. It's going to be a huge moral victory for the Mocs if UT can't even get one off. There's Bolish taking one. That goes off goal. And so it'll be turned over. There's 1 second left on the shot clock. 1 minute left here in the third quarter. And so the shot clock expires. And what happened in front of the net? I was watching where the ball was going to be put back into play from the corner. And there's a Mocs player very slow in getting up. That's Jack Frazee. And manages to go off under his power, his own power, which is always a good sign, but looked like a scary moment initially. 58 seconds left here in the third quarter. And the Mocs will put it in play. And here they go from the near corner. It's Nick Shannon. Plays it back to his goaltender, and Simone sends it over to the other side. Simone again. And Cannon knocks it down. Can he get the ball? He does. Trajan Cannon. And now he loses it. And the Mocs take it away. And great control there by Brendan Glasser. And so with 25 seconds left in the third quarter, the Mocs are going to get a last opportunity. No, it's turned over. And now the Spartans bring it up across midfield. Across the line, Brady stole a pass. And A bounce shot by Miller goes out of play. And 1 second left in the third quarter. And so that ends the third quarter of play with the Spartans and Florida Southern Mocs in an 8-8 tie. And we'll be back with more here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. And we're back here at the Namoli Family Athletic and Intramural Complex, ready to start the fourth quarter. I'm not going to say the fourth and final quarter because we are tied at 8, and this one has the makings of a photo finish, to use a horse racing expression. And we do have some weather that's been rearing its ugly head in the final seconds of the third. And as you see the players exiting the field, I believe that we have a lightning delay that's going to cause the game to take an extended pause. A lightning strike has occurred in the area, and so stick around, and we hope that we will be able to resume the broadcast. I believe unofficially, I believe that this means that they have to wait at least 15 minutes. If I'm wrong, it might actually be longer, but we will be back once the lightning delay is over with and play this fourth quarter here in Tampa.
Return to the stadium. Again, the game will resume shortly. You may return to the stadium.
We were down there, like on the sideline filming, and I was like, oh, that looks like green. And there's just straight dust. It was like, I turned in one direction, it was completely blind.
You're all good.
Sorry, man.
Good to see you on Heather.
Heather, that's right. Oh, wait.
No, you're good. You're good.
Florida Southern goal scored by number 6, Jack Frazee. His goal was unassisted.
That was all Jacob Chiz as he won the faceoff and ran it right down Main Street, as they say, and beats Blake Ulmer. And just like that, back-to-back goals for Florida Southern and a 2-goal lead. Faceoffs are 11-10 in favor of the Spartans. And there's a face-off violation called against the Mocs. And so UT with a chance to get back within one. This is Cannon. Down into the corner it goes for Kilkowski. Kilkowski one-on-one from the near corner. Being watched there by Shannon. To the far side it goes. And yes, the rain continues to fall here in Tampa. As the Spartans get it over to Fitzpatrick, takes a shot, scores! Daniel Fitzpatrick, and it's back to a 1-goal game. That's Fitzpatrick. What a laser on this one. And watch how he rips this shot after letting a defender go by, and a second defender was starting to come over to help out. And not in time, as Fitzpatrick beats Michael Simone to make it a 10-9 Florida Southern lead. And on the ensuing face-off, a bunch of them in there comes out and kicked at two of them, chased it down. The Mocs come up with it, but hold on, there's an errant pass and picked up by Craig Connor, his pass ahead. And up top with it, Nolan Ty. And this is Glasser with it. Now Miner sends it over. And Medeiros sends it down low. And it goes in behind the Spartans' net. In the corner. Here it is up top. Once again with Glasser. Miner sends it over. And running out of room was Medeiros, no shooting lane. He keeps it deep in behind the Spartans' net. Sends a pass over now for Nolan. Nolan sends one way up top and misses. And that'll be turned over as Luke McEnany picks it up for the Spartans. And away they come as Jackson Bashaw brings it down. Kilkowski and the Spartans making wholesale personnel changes. Kilkowski had nobody. And finally Fitzpatrick is there. Receives it up top and sends it over. And here comes Owen Miller. He'll go back to Fitzpatrick again. Fitzpatrick, couple of moves, sends it down low for Bashaw. And to the far side it goes. And trying to shake the defender is Charlie Bolish. And here's Owen Miller with it now. Miller puts his shoulder down, pass down low, and they score! Jackson Bashaw ties it up. 6 minutes, 9 seconds into the fourth quarter. It is tied at 10. As Bashaw gets his fourth goal of the game, Owen Miller gets the assist. And for as much as Sean Nolan has tried to grab the spotlight for the Mocs with his 4-goal performance, Jackson Bashaw now with 4 of his own for the Spartans. And the ensuing face-off, hold on, it's thrown away by the Mocs, and the Spartans pick it up. Matthew Beto throws it ahead for Bashaw. Bashaw brings it down into the near corner. 8.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Kilkowski with it. Kilkowski starts his break towards the back of the net, takes a quick look up at the scoreboard. Obviously the shot clock. And up top, the rain continues to fall very much here inside the stadium. Owen Miller with it. Miller stops, long low shot, and that goes wide and out of play. And possession stays with the Spartans. And it could become a factor, being the rain that I'm talking about, as it relates to footing and some of the cut moves that the players try to make. And it could end up in slipping and falling instead of the sharp cuts that they're normally able to make on a dry surface. So we'll watch out for that. And as you saw, the ball thrown away. And now Florida Southern takes over. I don't need to remind you that a berth in the conference championship game on Sunday is at stake for whoever wins this game. As it goes into the corner now. And that is Sean, I have 4 goals. Nolan sends it up top for Robichaux. Over it goes now as Cook takes a quick look at his own sideline as he runs past it. And down behind the Spartans net it goes. Back there is Ty going one-on-one against Cannon. Cannon gives him nothing, so he gives a pass back to Cook. Cook starts his move, comes out in front. Ulmer with a good stop, and the rebound that goes behind the net, out of play, and the officials both signal possession Florida Southern. And Blake Ulmer feverishly telling Matthew Beto that Lucas Summers was left unguarded, and they got that covered before the ball was put back in. So here are the Mocs. Nolan Ty tries to get past Trajan Cannon, drops a pass back instead for Cook. Cook wants to go one-on-one against Jackson Day, turns the corner, has a lane, scores! Caleb Cook. And the Mocs go back into a 1-goal lead again. It's 11-10 with 6:33 to go in the fourth. Unassisted. Caleb Cook gets into the goal column for the visiting team. And it's worth repeating that the Spartans had won 17-8 when these teams played in Lakeland 19 days ago. And a very different looking game here this evening as UT in possession. That's Owen Miller on the far side of the field. Miller jogs it down to the far corner. Miller being watched directly behind the Mocs net. That's Frazee watching him. Up top now, Bolish. And Bashaw sends it behind the net. Pass from Kilkowski to Bashaw to Miller and now to Bolish, and they go down low again. In behind the Mocs net, Fitzpatrick came out in front, took a shot that goes wide now to play. And possession stays with UT, only 20 seconds on the shot clock, however. Miller with it. Pass down low. Fitzpatrick wanted to go one-on-one, comes out the other side, it goes out in front. Loose ball, chased down by Miller. The shot clock is going to expire anyways. And so the Mocs will get the ball back, and they currently lead by 1 with 5:07 left here in the fourth quarter. And Zach Fitzgerald starting it up for them. Fitzgerald a pass up ahead. Here's Nolan. Nolan in the near corner. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Mocs. 4:44 left in the fourth. We will step away and be back with more lacrosse on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. And we are back following the timeout. And Rollins has won tonight's other game to advance to Sunday's conference championship game. As you see the Mocs with 4.5 to go, leading by 1. They have the ball just outside the Tampa line. And let's see if they opt to use as much of the clock as they can. And taken down now behind the Spartans net. 22 on the shot clock. And up top it goes. Minor shoots and scores. Jay Minor. And with only 9 left on the shot clock and 3:57 remaining in the fourth quarter. And you see the replay here as Minor takes a long shot that beats Ulmer to the far side. And it starts with the faceoff, and they call a violation against UT. And so possession to the Mocs again. And here's Cook with it. Over now for Nolan. Nolan sends it up top for Cook. And Robichaux over to the far side of the field. And in front of his own sideline, that's Ty. Tries to get a step on the defender, now doubles back and sends it back for Robichaux. Across the Tampa line. Robichaux being watched by Cannon over there. seemingly trying to kill lots of time. Still 34 on the shot clock for Florida Southern. As Summers sends it down behind the net, a loose ball kicked at, and Ulmer will pick it up for the Spartans. So a missed opportunity for Florida Southern, and away goes Trajan Cannon for UT. Cannon sends a pass down for Bashaw. 2:47 to go in the fourth quarter. Kilkowski with it. Spartans trailing by 2. And they have it right in front of their own sideline as Trajan Cannon goes off the field. And now here's Bashaw picking it up. Bashaw with 1.5 defenders on him. Fitzpatrick sends it behind the net. Bolesh, and shot coming, goes wide and out of play. Off the stick of Kilkowski as Jackson Bashaw puts it back into play. Fitzpatrick whips it over Miller to Bolesh now. Back to Miller again. Miller puts his head down. No shooting lane there. Back up top it goes. Bolesh with a little spin move. Good defensive switch by Florida Southern. 16 on the shot clock. A flag is thrown, so we're going to have a penalty called against the Mocs. And in front, Miller couldn't get his stick on it. And play will be blown dead anyways. And with 1:48 remaining, the Spartans will get a power play. So a 1-minute penalty to Ian Wallace of Florida Southern. A 1-minute slashing penalty that opens the door for UT to cut this to a 1-goal game. And now on the restart, McEnany gives it to Bashaw. Miller, and they work it quickly down low. Birch, Bashaw, Miller, Fitzpatrick, and out in front, and a stop made there by Simone. And off to the races go the Mocs. And that's Frazee. And now the Spartans, do they cause a turnover? The ball is still loose, and the referee blows it dead and says possession to UT. And 22 seconds still remaining in the penalty to Ian Wallace of Florida Southern. And here goes Matthew Beto pushing it up ahead. Bolesh, pass over, shot coming, and that one goes wide and out of play off the stick of Luke McEnany. 59 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Spartans trail by 2. Fitzpatrick, pass over, 5 seconds left in the penalty. There's a shot, and Simone gets a stick on that one. And now the penalty has expired. The Mocs are back at full strength. 40 seconds left. And the Spartans need a turnover here somehow. Otherwise, Florida Southern's going to run out the clock. And there's a pass that's knocked down by Fitzpatrick, and he does cause the turnover. And Sean Nolan there to argue his case, and the referee won't hear it. And so with just 24 seconds left, UT needs to hustle. Here goes Charlie Bolesh, and bounces one in. And Simone handles that one. And now the Mocs will try to go into clock-killing mode again, as it's down to 6 seconds. Ulmer has it, throws it the length of the field, and the horn goes. The game is over, and the Florida Southern Mocs have defeated the Tampa Spartans 12-10 on the road to advance to the SSC Men's Lacrosse Championship game on Sunday. And a game that had intensity from start to finish, notwithstanding the rain delay that prevented the fourth quarter from starting on time. But Florida Southern has the winning formula as they come in And as the number 16 seed, they defeat number 7 UT by a score of 12-10. Final shots on goal were 22-19 in favor of Florida Southern. And faceoffs were 14-12 in favor of UT. The Mocs win despite having 21 turnovers to quote-unquote just 14 for the Spartans. The winning goaltender, Michael Simone, makes 9 saves. Blake Ulmer in defeat makes 10 saves. And Sean Nolan leads the way with 4 goals for Florida Southern, while Jackson Bashaw had 4 of his own for the Spartans. And the Spartans lining up for the ceremonial handshake to end this game, and a tough way for them to go down after they had won 5 consecutive games coming into today. Keep in mind that UT's record in the regular season was 13-2, and the 12-4 Florida Southern Mocs come into Tampa and beat them on their own field by a score of 12-10. For Andre Pyatt, I'm Bruce Wozniak, thanking you for watching on the